Hey everyone, welcome to Sidetrack Adventures. This is Steve. Right now we're on our way to the Grand Canyon, or more appropriately, the west rim of the Grand Canyon. Now I've never been to this section of the Grand Canyon before, so I'm really looking forward to checking it out. I hear there's some great views. There's of course the Grand Canyon Skywalk, which we're going to go out on, and supposedly there's some historic sites to check out as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. On the way there, you do pass through a huge Joshua tree forest, which is where we're at right now. So the drive out here is pretty scenic as well. This is said to be the densest Joshua tree forest in the world. Having been all throughout the Mojave Desert, I could say I've never seen this many Joshua trees in one place before. This is definitely a very scenic drive out to the west rim of the Grand Canyon. The west rim of the Grand Canyon, or Grand Canyon West as it's known, is located about 2 hours from Las Vegas, or a little less than an hour and a half from Kingman, Arizona. This makes it the closest section of the Grand Canyon to Las Vegas or Southern California. Unlike the better known South and North rims, Grand Canyon West is not part of the Grand Canyon National Park. It is a part of the Hualapai Indian Reservation, so a National Park Pass won't work here. You have to pay a separate entrance fee. We ended up purchasing our entrance tickets online in advance. We are at the main parking area. Now you can't drive your own car around here. Once we go through the entrance, there's supposed to be a shuttle that will take us to the different areas of Grand Canyon West. We're also right next to the Grand Canyon West Airport, so if you don't feel like driving, you can also get here via helicopter from Las Vegas. Here comes the shuttle bus that will take us around. Grand Canyon West has 3 main areas: Eagle Point, Guano Point, and Hualapai Point, and our plan is just to visit them in the order the bus stops at them. Our first stop is Eagle Point, and looking into the Grand Canyon here, it is instantly clear why this place is called Eagle Point, as that looks like a giant eagle. There's a legend that people once lived at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and an eagle flew down to warn the people of a great flood that was coming. As the eagle flew back up, it stayed near the top of the canyon to watch over them, and turned to stone where it remains to this day. Check out this sign warning about the dangers of taking selfies. Eagle Point is the top destination here at Grand Canyon West for one reason, and we're getting our first glimpse of it now: the Grand Canyon Skywalk. Before we head out on the Skywalk, I want to check out this Native American village over here because it looks pretty cool. It looks like we have a Hualapai wiki up over here. Here's a Navajo sweat lodge. Let's head over and take a quick look inside. It's a hot day. It's probably cooler in the sweat lodge right now. Wow, it's really unfortunate how much graffiti there is in here. I mean, this place is almost completely covered in it. I just don't get it. We have a couple of Navajo hogans here. The entrances to these would always face towards the east to greet the new day. This is a Hopi building. It's great that housing from different tribes throughout the Southwest is on display here. Check out the size of this lizard. Also, check out the speed of this lizard. Now it's time for the Skywalk, where you get to walk out over 800 feet above the Grand Canyon below. You aren't allowed to take any cameras or phones out on the Skywalk, and you have to wear little booties over your shoes to help protect it. There are photographers out there to take your picture that you can then buy in the gift shop, I didn't mind this as Grand Canyon West is the tribe's main revenue source, and everyone taking their own photos would probably lead to chaos out there. The skywalk was pretty fun. The views were great, but you can get pretty much the same views without going out there. The main attraction was that see-through floor. It was amazing to look down through the floor and see birds flying below you. Even though I knew it was solid and it's been here since 2007, my legs still got a slight jello-ish feeling out there. Not everyone enjoyed it the same though. Our son was very cautious and mainly stayed to the non-transparent parts on the edge, and you could probably tell by the pictures, he wasn't having it. Back in the gift shop after being out on the skywalk, and I just came across these shirts, so you have something to buy whether you did the skywalk or not. We are about to get lunch in the restaurant here, and the restaurant is right above the skywalk. I could see people up here eating while we were out there. The views from our table can't be beat. This has to be one of the best restaurant views I've ever had. Here's a look back at the skywalk from our table. It looks like there's a lot less people on it now than when we were out there. I guess we were just unlucky with our timing. But now that we've recharged with some lunch, it's on to the next stop. We're now at Guano Point, where we're told you can get the best views of the Grand Canyon. Though I don't know if there's a such thing as a bad view of the Grand Canyon. There's also a historic mine here, well, a guano mine. So let's take a look around. There's a cafe that has some barbecue selections here at Guano Point, and what looks like a decent line for it. These crows have no fear of man. We haven't walked out to the point yet, and the views from here are already spectacular. You almost get a side view of the Colorado River here. And there is Guano Point, where we'll also find the remains of an old guano mining operation. Wow, this is great. Walking out here, you have the Grand Canyon on both sides of you. Look how narrow it is here up ahead. When the guano mine was in operation, trucks would have to drive out here and cross that. Here's a bit of the old paving from the mine road. And here's a look back. This was definitely one-way traffic to and from the mine. In the 1930s, a boater was passing through the canyon near here and found a cave that ended up being filled with guano, or bat droppings. Guano is rich in nitrogen, so it's very good as a fertilizer, and at times can make someone a pretty penny. It looks like Batman has been here as well. You can see a piece of the old tramway down in the canyon. In 1957, the U.S. Guano Corporation purchased the mining rights and began to construct this tramway to extract the guano from the mine. There were cables that took cable cars down into the canyon and were used to transport the guano and the miners. The mine was only in operation until 1960. The cable was damaged by an Air Force jet's tail and was never repaired. If you ask me, you'd have to be another word for guano to work that mine. I'm not sure how easy it is to see on the camera, but there are some helicopters flying in the canyon below us right now. It's not often you get an overhead view of a helicopter. Now let's head up to the high point of Guano Point and see what kind of view we get from up there. Here's a look back towards the mine. I wouldn't want to work there, but wow, they sure had a great view. We've made it to the top, and the views from up here are amazing. Now to head back down, grab the shuttle, and it's on to the next spot. We've arrived at Hualapai Point, which is the last of the three main areas at Grand Canyon West. This area seems to be styled as an Old West ghost town. The first thing I'm noticing, compared to the other two areas, is how few people are here. This is more the adventure part of Grand Canyon West, it seems, as there is a zip line here as well as some hiking and biking trails. There are some cabins in this area. This is the only lodging at Grand Canyon West, though I did see RV parking as we came in, and there was a quote-unquote glamping resort about a mile from the entrance as well. So we're about to head back to the car after spending the day at Grand Canyon West. Now, if I had to choose between coming here or going to the national park, I would probably pick the national park. There's a little bit more to see and do there. It's cheaper, and it definitely feels like the crowds are a little bit better dispersed. That being said, if you find yourself in the area, such as Las Vegas, and you only have limited time, or you've been to the national park before, it's definitely worth coming here. The skywalk was a blast. The views at Guano Point were amazing. If you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, there's the zip line, or you could take a helicopter down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and that's something you can't do at the national park. So anyways, that's our look at Grand Canyon West. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next week.